Hello there, curious people. Have you ever wondered why some people avoid Halloween like the plague? Yet, a lot of Christians celebrate this as a fun day when their children get free candy. Let's talk about its history and roots. Let's dive into the spooky origins and beliefs behind this holiday. Halloween, which is celebrated on October 31st, is packed with costumes, candy, and creepy evil things. But did you know its roots trace back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain? Over 2,000 years ago, the Celts believed October 31st was when the spirit world mingled with the living. Yet these people celebrated this with costumes, bonfires, and spooky rituals. Let's not forget that Yahushua died to liberate us from all kinds of evil. Let's fast forward to the 8th century and Pope Gregory III sprinkled some Catholic flavor, turning November 1st into All Saints' Day. The night before, All Hallows' Eve, which morphed into the Halloween we know today. Wasn't that convenient? Think about this. But here's the twist. Some Christians steer clear of Halloween. Why? It's because of those pagan roots and spooky themes. With its focus on fear, darkness, and the supernatural, it's a fact that these things do clash with the faith in Yahweh. Instead, we are supposed to opt for positive celebrating of other biblical festivals like the harvest. So, whether you're carving pumpkins with a happy face instead of evil, do you think that Yahweh likes that? What is Halloween really? Halloween is a holiday observed on October 31st in most countries. It is commonly associated with costumes, trick-or-treating, carving pumpkins into jack-o'-lanterns, haunted houses, and themes of death, ghosts, and the supernatural. It is also associated with children's sacrifices and crucifying people upside down. Though it is often viewed today as a light-hearted and fun celebration for children, its roots stretch back to ancient times and have both pagan and Christian influences. Christian influences? How? The origins of Halloween. Halloween has its origins in the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, which was celebrated in what is now Ireland, the United Kingdom, and northern France over 2,000 years ago. The Celts marked November 1st as the start of the new year, and Samhain was observed on the night of October 31st to welcome the harvest and acknowledge the end of summer. The Celts believed that on this night the boundary between the living and the dead became blurred, allowing spirits to return to earth. But remember, these people had yet no idea of who Yahushua HaMashiach is. Key aspects of Samhain include bonfires to ward off evil spirits and guide the souls of the dead. Costumes, people would wear costumes, often of animal heads and skins, to disguise themselves from wandering spirits. Offerings and divination. The Celts would offer sacrifices of crops and animals, and they believed this time was ripe for fortune-telling and divination. Catholic influence and the evolution of Halloween. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III established November 1st as All Saints' Day, or All Hallows' Day, a day to honor saints and martyrs. The night before, October 31st, became known as All Hallows' Eve, eventually shortened to Halloween. This Christianization by the Catholic Church of the festival was an attempt to mix the pagan traditions of Samhain with Catholic customs. Over time, elements of both Samhain and Catholic practices blended, creating the modern holiday of Halloween. Immigrants to the United States in the 19th century, particularly Irish and Scottish, helped popularize Halloween, bringing traditions like trick-or-treating, which evolved from earlier customs of leaving food out for wandering spirits or playing pranks on neighbors. Where is Christianism in all of that? Why believers should not celebrate Halloween? Many believers in Christ, particularly from conservative or evangelical backgrounds, believe that Halloween is inappropriate for believers to celebrate due to its pagan origins and its association with the occult and the supernatural. Here are some reasons often cited: pagan and occult origins. The holiday's roots in Samhain, a festival closely tied to spiritism, child sacrifice, necromancy and divination, which the Tanakh describes as an act of witchcraft and sin. While today these lukewarm believers say that the modern celebration of Halloween is more about fun and costumes, the underlying themes of the holiday, death, ghosts, witches and the occult, are seen as contrary to Christian teachings. The Bible warns against practices related to witchcraft, divination, and consulting the dead, for example, Deuteronomy 18:10-12, which are themes that can be found in Halloween traditions. Focus on fear and darkness. Halloween's focus on fear, darkness, and horror contrasts with the Christian call to live in the light and peace of Christ. Many Christian denominations emphasize that believers should avoid embracing or celebrating themes that promote fear, evil, or darkness. Halloween decorations, costumes, and activities often glorify violence, death, and frightening imagery, which can be seen as inappropriate for followers of Yahushua, who is described as the light of the world, John 8:12. Spiritual influence and worldview. Some believers are concerned that celebrating Halloween can open doors to spiritual influences that are harmful or contrary to their faith. The holiday's emphasis on witches, demons, and evil spirits is seen by some as trivializing or even inviting the demonic realm into one's life. Christians are often encouraged to be vigilant about what they expose themselves and their families to, in accordance with the biblical teaching to abstain from every form of evil. 1 Thessalonians 5:22. Promoting positive alternatives. Many Christians choose to avoid Halloween and instead participate in or organize alternative celebrations that focus on positive, faith-based themes. For example, some churches hold harvest festivals or light parties, which celebrate the fall season in a wholesome way and emphasize joy, fellowship, and God's goodness rather than themes of death and fear. Others may use the time to celebrate All Saints' Day in remembrance of Christian martyrs and heroes of the faith, biblical call to holiness. Believers are called to live lives set apart for God. Some Christians view participation in Halloween as being inconsistent with this call to holiness, since the holiday is perceived as promoting worldly values and practices that do not align with their faith. Ephesians 5:11 says, "Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them." From this perspective, Halloween is seen as something to be avoided in favor of living a life that reflects the purity and holiness of God. Conclusion. While Halloween may seem harmless to many, some Christians feel it conflicts with their spiritual values due to its pagan origins, focus on fear and darkness, and associations with the occult. Rather than celebrating Halloween, many believers choose to abstain from it or find alternative ways to observe the fall season in ways that honor God. Ultimately, the decision of whether to celebrate Halloween is a personal one for Christians, guided by their convictions and understanding of their faith. Where is Yahuwah in all of this? Where is our faith in Yahushua HaMashiach? Do you think it's all right to celebrate this day? Remember that Yahushua dies for you. You're very important to Yahuwah. Think about this and think about your salvation. Thanks for watching. Remember to hit the like button and the bell. Shalom.